prepare yourself for a journey into the depths of transformation. As Change Your Tomorrow unveils some habits that completely revolutionized your life in just 1 week. Yes, you heard me right, only 1 week. It may sound unbelievable, almost like a fairy tale, but I assure you these aren't the usual tips you find splashed across self-help articles. These are raw, authentic practices that I courageously wove into the fabric of my daily routine. The path wasn't smooth. I encountered struggles that threatened to derail me, moments of doubt that lingered like shadows, and breakthroughs that felt like a breath of fresh air in a stifling room. The transformation I underwent was nothing short of astounding, and I'm eager to share this experience with you. Each habit has left a mark on my life, profoundly influencing my productivity, mental health, and overall sense of well-being. I believe they hold the potential to do the same for you. So, settle in with a warm cup of coffee and prepare to get comfortable. We're about to plunge into these powerful habits, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment. These practices aren't just abstract ideas, they are practical, actionable steps you can start implementing right away. Along the way, I'll share personal stories and insights from my own journey, offering you an honest glimpse into how these habits transformed my life. Stay with me until the end. You might just find the keys to unlock your own transformation. Number 1, daily exercise. There was a time when I couldn't see the value of daily exercise. I wasn't the person who loved breaking a sweat or chasing fitness goals. In fact, I was the master of excuses. I'm too tired, I don't have time, or the classic "I'll start tomorrow" sound familiar. But there came a moment when something clicked. I was tired of feeling stuck, both physically and mentally. I made a promise to myself: 1 week of daily movement, no matter how small. It wasn't about jumping into the deep end. I started with just 20 minutes a day, jogging or a little strength training, and honestly, those first few days were tough. My muscles ached, and exhaustion hit hard. But every time I thought about quitting, I reminded myself that this wasn't just about physical fitness. This was about feeling alive again. By the 4th day, things shifted. I woke up feeling more energized than I had in years. My mood was lighter, the irritability and stress that once weighed me down seemed to fade, and the world around me, it felt brighter, like I was finally taking control of my well-being. Physical changes followed. My posture was stronger, my body felt leaner, and my overall fitness improved. But the real transformation was inside. Exercise became my sanctuary, a time to disconnect from the rush of life and reconnect with myself. It wasn't just another task on my to-do list, it became a way of caring for myself. Trying yoga was another unexpected gift. I had always hesitated, thinking I wasn't flexible or strong enough, but once I gave it a chance, it became a new love. Yoga taught me to slow down, breathe, and listen to what my body needed. It wasn't just about the physical, it became a way to find peace within the chaos. Incorporating daily exercise into my life opened my eyes to something profound. When you take care of your body, you take care of your mind too. It's not about striving for perfection or pushing yourself to the limit. It's about discovering what movement feels good for you and embracing it. So if you're where I was, wondering how to even begin, here's my advice: start small. Find something you love, whether it's dancing, hiking, or a simple walk, and just begin. It doesn't need to be long or intense. Little by little, it will grow, and so will you. The rewards physically, mentally, emotionally are worth every step. This one simple habit has the power to transform not just your body, but your entire life. Number 2, waking up early. I was never someone who loved mornings. In fact, my bed felt like the safest place in the world, and the snooze button was my constant companion. Every morning was a blur of chaos, leaving me feeling like I was always a step behind before the day had even begun. But something had to change. I needed to reclaim control over my mornings, so I took a chance on waking up early. I wasn't prepared for how much it would change my life. Setting my alarm for 5 a.m. felt like a challenge at first. Those initial mornings, brutal. I dragged myself out of bed, groggy and questioning why I was doing this to myself. Was it really worth it? But as the days passed, something began to shift. By the 3rd morning, I noticed a subtle magic in the air, the quietness, the stillness. It was as if the world hadn't woken up yet, and I had these peaceful moments all to myself. With those extra hours, I discovered something priceless: time. Time to do the things I never seemed to fit into my day before. I began meditating, centering my thoughts, and setting my intentions before the world got busy. It wasn't just about being productive, it was about starting the day with calmness, not chaos. That small shift in my morning routine transformed my mindset. I no longer felt rushed, no longer hurried to keep up with life. Instead, I had the luxury of enjoying my breakfast, sipping my coffee slowly, and mapping out my day with clarity. One particular morning stands out. I stepped onto my balcony just as the sun began to rise, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. Watching the world slowly wake up in front of me, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace and gratitude wash over me. In that moment, I truly understood the power of waking up early. It wasn't just about getting things done, but about experiencing life in a quieter, more intentional way. I know early mornings may not be for everyone, but if you're looking to shift something in your life, give it a try. Even if it's just 15 minutes earlier than usual, start there. You may find, as I did, that those peaceful, uninterrupted moments can lead to a transformation far greater than you ever expected. Number 3, eat well. Mindful eating became a turning point for me, though I never imagined it would. Like so many people, I used to rush through my meals, hardly aware of what I was putting into my body. I would eat while scrolling through my phone or typing away on my laptop, completely disconnected from the experience. It wasn't until I took a step back and really thought about how that habit was affecting me that I realized something needed to change. I started small, setting the scene for my meals like I was creating a special moment for myself. I cleared off my dining table, put my phone away, and sat in front of my food with no distractions, just me and my plate. At first, it felt almost awkward to sit in silence, but soon, that stillness became something I cherished. I'd begin each meal with a deep breath, grounding myself in the present moment. I decided to commit to 1 week of mindful eating, where I'd pay full attention to the act of eating, savoring each bite, noticing the textures, the flavors, even the sounds of my food. It was like discovering food for the first time. Things I had eaten for years suddenly tasted richer, more vibrant. The crunch of fresh vegetables, the sweetness of ripe fruit, they all felt heightened, as if I was tuning into a new frequency. The difference was profound. I found myself feeling more satisfied after meals, not because I was eating more, but because I was truly present. By slowing down, I gave my body time to signal when it was full. And I started to naturally eat less. No more overstuffing myself because I wasn't paying attention. It was a shift that felt gentle, yet powerful. One morning stands out in my memory: a simple bowl of oatmeal. Normally, I'd scarf it down without a second thought, but this time I slowed everything down. I took in the creamy texture, the subtle sweetness of the honey I drizzled on top, and it felt like a moment of gratitude. It wasn't just about the oatmeal, it was about creating space in my day for something as small as a meal to become meaningful. Another revelation was the emotional connection I had with food. I began noticing when I was eating because I was bored, stressed, or just looking for comfort. Recognizing those moments gave me the power to choose differently. Instead of mindlessly reaching for a snack, I would ask myself what I really needed. Was it a break? A moment to breathe? A conversation with a friend? That awareness changed everything. I'll never forget one evening when I craved something sweet after dinner. My first instinct was to reach for dessert, but I paused and asked myself if I was actually hungry. The answer was no. I was just looking for a reward after a long day. Instead of indulging that automatic craving, I made myself a cup of herbal tea. That small decision felt like a victory, one that reflected how much mindfulness had started to shape my choices. Mindful eating transformed my relationship with food. It wasn't just about digestion or feeling physically better, it was about feeling more connected, more present in my own life. I've kept up the practice well beyond that first week, and it's something I truly recommend. If you want to try it, start with just one meal. You might be surprised at how something as simple as eating can become an act of care and mindfulness that ripples into the rest of your life. Number 4, journaling prompts. Journaling wasn't something I ever saw myself doing. I used to think it was for people with too much free time or those naturally drawn to deep introspection. I mean, who really has time to sit down and write about their day when life feels so busy? But then I gave it a chance, just 1 week of consistent journaling, and it completely shifted the way I saw things. It became one of the most powerful tools for my personal growth. I started small, nothing complicated. Every night before bed, I set aside 10 minutes. The first night I sat there staring at the blank page, not sure what to even write. But I began with the basics: how my day went, what made me happy, what I struggled with. And from there, the words started to flow. It was as if I was having a quiet conversation with myself, unraveling my thoughts one sentence at a time. As the days passed, my writing began to go deeper. I didn't just talk about the day. I started exploring my dreams, my fears, the things that truly mattered to me. What surprised me the most was how much clarity it brought. I could see patterns in my thoughts, the things that kept me up at night, the worries that were out of my control. But more importantly, I began to notice areas where I could make changes, where I had the power to take action. Journaling became more than just a nightly routine. It became a space for reflection, a place where I could pour out everything without holding back. Writing about my stress, my insecurities, my goals, it allowed me to process emotions I hadn't even realized were weighing me down. It gave me a clearer picture of what was truly important and where I needed to focus my energy. If you've never tried journaling, I can't recommend it enough. It doesn't matter what you write or how you write it. Just starting the process can unlock a whole new level of self-awareness and growth. You might be surprised by what you discover about your thoughts, your emotions, and most importantly, about yourself. Number 5, limiting screen telephone. Limiting screen time was a habit I never thought would have such a profound impact on my life. It felt almost impossible at first. After all, we live in a world where everything seems to revolve around screens. I was constantly scrolling through social media, binge watching shows, or checking emails. It wasn't until I hit a point of exhaustion that I realized how much it was draining me mentally, emotionally, and even physically. My productivity was slipping. And my sleep, well, let's just say it wasn't great. Something had to change. I decided to give myself a challenge: limit non-work related screen time to just 1 hour a day. It sounded simple, but breaking that habit wasn't easy. The first thing I noticed was how much time I suddenly had. It was like waking up to a whole new world. Hours that used to disappear while staring at a screen were now mine again. And with that time, I started reconnecting with things I hadn't realized I missed, things that brought me real joy. I picked up a book that had been sitting on my shelf for months, waiting to be read. I found myself sketching again, something I hadn't done in ages. Even cooking became an unexpected source of creativity. As I tried out new recipes in the kitchen, each small activity brought a sense of fulfillment that I hadn't felt in a while. Then there was that one evening when, instead of reaching for my phone, I grabbed my jacket and went for a walk. The park near my house felt different, more alive. The breeze, the rustling of the trees, and the rhythm of my footsteps brought a sense of peace I hadn't realized I was craving. That simple walk turned into a new routine, something I cherished and looked forward to every day. It became a time to clear my head, to reconnect with myself and the world outside of my screen. Limiting my screen time wasn't just about cutting back on distractions, it was about reclaiming moments of presence and joy. It showed me that life, with all its richness, was happening around me, and all I had to do was look up and take part in it. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of this incredible journey through the 5 habits that truly transformed my life in just 1 week. It's been an eye-opening experience, not just going through these changes myself, but having the chance to share them with all of you. Each habit has its own unique power to shift not just your routines, but your mindset, your energy, and ultimately your life. And the best part, if these habits could make such a difference for me, they can absolutely do the same for you. If you've been inspired by any of these habits, I encourage you to take that first step. Whether it's waking up a little earlier, limiting screen time, or simply being more mindful, each habit starts small but can create a ripple of positive change. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments which habit you're excited to try, or if you have any questions about how to get started. Your stories, your experiences, that's what makes this community so special and so empowering. And of course, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on the next steps in our journey of growth and transformation.